So let me ask you a quick question. Are you a leader who tends to avoid correction conversations? Are you the kind tends to let things go, let things go and pile up and then explode? Or maybe you just bear the brunt of all the work and begin to feel overwhelmed? So, today I want to talk about a very simple mindset shift to help you overcome any fear or guilt that you have around correction conversations. This is something that a lot of my clients really struggle with. And by the way, wherever you're catching this, I'm streaming it to multiple places. Feel free to comment if you have a question. You can send me an email. I might not see it during the broadcast, but if you have a question or just say hi, I'll be able to see it, and that would be great. So, like I said, a lot of my clients struggle with feeling guilt or fear around engaging in good correction conversations with their employees. And so there are some simple mindset shifts that you can make to help you enter in feeling empowered and good about having the conversation. I'll share a couple of real life examples. These happened years ago, so I won't give any identifying information. But as a for instance, many years ago, I was working with a smaller clinic that had been bought out by a larger health organization. And in this clinic, they had an x ray tech who hadn't maintained their certification. By the time I started working with them, it had been a couple of years since they told this person that she needed to get recertified. As a smaller kind of standalone clinic, maybe they didn't need to worry so much about the liability of taking on an x-ray tech doing work that she wasn't still certified for. But this larger health organization said, no, we're not willing to take on the liability. And so, they said, you need to get recertified. They gave her 2 years to get recertified and they were going to pay for it. But by the time working with them, the 2 years had lapsed, and this X-ray tech had unfortunately not taken any steps to get recertified. Now it was late. The poor office manager with guilt. She just thought, oh, she needs the job, and I feel so bad. And the X-ray tech had instead decided to blame it on the large health organization. They're trying to push me out. They really weren't. They invest in her recertifying. They wanted her to stay. But again, it didn't make business sense to take on the ability of having, there's certifications for a reason. And, it is a requirement. And so you can't be an x-ray tech if you're not certified. So I helped this office manager shift her mindset. Because again, racked with guilt, as if she had control over the actions of this x-ray tech. They had given her ample opportunity to do the right things, and she hadn't. Another example, this was years ago, an office manager. The owner of the business had no controls in place for any of his finances, and the office manager was going through a bankruptcy. Now, maybe she wasn't going to do anything, but sometimes when people are in dire straits, they're going to make choices that they shouldn't. And really, having controls around your finances, you should have those anyway, in case someone's, making choices that they shouldn't. Don't give them the opportunity to take advantage of the business. But in this instance, again, he knew that the office manager was going to know about the new rules, the new controls that he was going to put into place. And he was racked with guilt. He didn't want to talk to her about changing the procedures, adding in this extra protection. So he was putting her first and the business second. And you don't want to do that. You want to engage in good correction conversations. If you have employees, and again, the office manager, it's not like her performance was bad or anything, but it's just like, why give someone the opportunity? But you want to give your employees the opportunity to make the right choices and serve your business well. And so, correction conversations, I like to call it that and discipline. Sometimes it can be a part of a discipline process, but ultimately, really, when you're having a conversation, it doesn't have to be part of discipline. But ultimately, your goal really is change performance, change behavior, or possibly attitude. You're basically seeking to tweak the performance of an employee. That's it. And I like to think of language, you be intentional about the language that I use or that I have my clients use in their minds or in their words that they spoke, because the language we use really ignites the emotions. And so to think about, like, I'm just tweaking this employee's performance or giving them the opportunity to tweak their performance. And that's the other thing, like, you're giving them the opportunity to make informed choices. If you don't have the correction conversation, they may not know that there's a gap in what you're expecting and how they're behaving and how they're performing. So, so again, correction conversations, you're ultimately just seeking to tweak someone's performance or attitude or behavior. Hopefully, it's a catalyst to change. That's the goal. They can be part of a discipline process, but they don't have to. It's not always elevated to that level. And a lot of times, a discipline process will start with just some, formal write up, but you can do informal conversations with employees for sure. And again, if you're watching, please say hi or ask a question. If you have a question around how you handle correction conversations in your business, I'm happy to answer those questions. All right. So here is the simple mindset tweak that I have been sharing with clients for probably about 15 years. And here it is. So, and the reason I focus on mindset, by the way, is that it's our mindset, what we're saying inside of our head is what creates our nonverbals. So I can tell someone what to say or to use a progressive discipline process or how to engage the employee. Like, here's some phrases to say, but really the mindset, what they're thinking about is what's going to create their nonverbals. And as you know, if you know anything about communication, 95% of our communication is actually nonverbal. And so we want to pay attention to what we're saying inside of our heads while we're engaging in actual verbal communication. And also, without the that, too often my clients were just avoiding the correction conversations because again, they were feeling so much guilt, like that office manager who was taking on guilt of an employee who had her own choices. She made informed choices. She knew what she was supposed to. Knew what the expectations were. The employer to pay for the schooling, etc., and help do what she needed to do to recertify, but she chose to. But that manager was feeling so much guilt because of the consequences going to end up happening to this employee who didn't make the right choices. So we can feel sad for that, but we don't have control over that. But so you don't want the guilt or the fear that you have around correction conversations to silence you, to stop you from letting employees know and giving them the opportunity to make better choices. You don't want to be the leader who is exploding after all the little things have built up and you're like a volcano and now all the frustrations coming out, or you feel resentment all the time, or you're overwhelmed because there's too much on your plate because your team's not performing the way you need them to perform. So here is the simple mindset. Literally write this down and keep it on a little sticky note while you're talking to an employee if you're having a seeking to tweak someone's performance with a correction conversation. One, I want you to be successful. So you're on their side. You want them to be part of the team. You want them to be successful. This isn't punitive. You're not, just being a jerk or being mean. You want them to be successful. Two, I will define what success is. So you as the leader or business owner are the one who's going to define what's required to be successful as an employee in your business. If you don't have correction conversations and employees are choosing their own behaviors, they're the ones making decisions for your business ultimately. And sometimes their decisions aren't aligned with what's best for the business. A super simple illustration is to think about a start time for the day. If you have an employee who's consistently late and you don't address it, ultimately they are the ones deciding what the start to your business. Do you want that? Now, sometimes it doesn't matter. You might have tools, etc. But if you are serving customers, let's say they're making phones for people, they need to be take orders and make those ice cream cones. And not there, they can't do that. And so want to decide what time you open, or do you want your fee decide what time you open? So I will define what success is. That's what you get to do as a leader, as a business owner. You're going to decide what's required, what the expectations are of the role, how they should do the work, what attitude you want to see, what you want it to feel like when you are serving your customers, your clients, your patients. Third, I will communicate that definition to you. So I'm going to decide what the definition is, and I'm going to communicate it to you. That's what we're doing during this meeting. 4, you will have a choice. This one is really important because you can't control the choices that someone else makes, and this is where the guilt often comes in. Everyone has free will. So as a leader, if you have given someone the opportunity to make different choices, better choices, by setting clear expectations, and then making sure that they have the knowledge, skills, and ability and resources, including time, to do the job well, but they still aren't choosing to do things by your design, that's their choice. They are choosing to do things differently. Now, there are times when you want to engage in process improvement and ask for input, et cetera. So I'm not really addressing that here, where you do want someone's input, who's doing the job, et cetera. But ultimately, you will likely make the final decision. But once you have, let's say you've taken all their input in and now you've decided what the role is, you define what success is, you communicate that definition to the team, and then they have a choice. So that's that free will. And if they have free will, there is no guilt because it's their choice. And then the last is, I hope you choose well. And this is like, I continue to partner with you and lock arms with you and continue to root for you to be a successful member of this team. How I will define what success looks like. So that is a simple mindset that has helped thousands of my clients and people who've read my books and listened to my podcast over a couple of decades now. So I hope it's helpful to you. If you watch this live after the fact, please leave a comment. Let me know any aha moments that, and if you need any help as a leader, super easy to connect with me. You can message wherever you're watching this, or you can book some time with me. Just go to focusforwardcoaching.com/book call. I also have a library of resources available 24/7 that you can check out for free for 2 weeks. And then it's just a low monthly cost. And you can go to that by going to focusforwardcoaching.com/ myimpactacademy.com. Sorry, I have too many websites. myimpactacademy.com/join. And through that, you can get access, like I said, a whole library of resources to help you be your best. Audio, video, PDF downloads, ebooks, etc. It's all there. So anyone have any questions? So I'm seeing someone has messaged about, how do you start a correction conversation? That is, I get that question a lot working with clients. Like, how do I start? One thing is, go in prepared. If you have someone who is just frustrating you, if you have an employee frustrating you, first, get clear about what it is. Is it an attitude or an aptitude thing? Sometimes they just have a bad attitude and they're probably not going to shift. But so get clear. If it's an aptitude thing, then the next question is, can they get there? Do they just need to build some skills or knowledge? And create the path for how can they do that? Do they need to shadow someone, take a webinar, take a class, go back for a degree, look through your procedure manual again? What is it that's going to help them build the skills if it's an aptitude thing? So attitude or aptitude, get specific. If it's an attitude thing, that needs to either show or sorry, I'm looking at someone's, but attitude or aptitude a plan if it's the aptitude, and then you communicate that to them. So come into the meeting clear about what needs to shift so you can communicate it and also have a plan in place. Again, attitude needs to just happen now if they're going to be able to do it. Aptitude might take a little longer, but come in plan. I recommend writing exactly what you want to say down. It's fine if you even just read it. And then I will say that you come in and set the tone. So just say like, hey, I just want, you can make it nonchalant. You don't have to come in like super authoritative and all of that, but just come in and, and say, hey, I just want to discuss a couple of things with your performance. We just need a few tweaks. And so I want to share that with you. And just start. And again, if you've written it down, you can either read it or use the bullet points to share what you wanted to share, talk about what you need, where the gap is, and what you need to see different, how you'll support them in making the shift if it's an aptitude thing. And that's it. So just let them know that, hey, we're here to talk about your performance quickly. All right, I have a question. What if they start getting loud and upset when you're communicating with them? And that can happen. There are actually 5 key stay stuck strategies that employees will use, and people use these in our life too. But so the getting loud and upset is usually defensive, and that's can be the kind of the scariest one sometimes to overcome. So one, I will say if someone is getting loud and upset, that is a stay stuck strategy. So that's giving you information. It's not personal usually. Think about your own, how you're interacting with them. Are you remaining calm and articulating what you need to articulate? But if they're getting loud, that's already telling you that they're not really open to hearing the information and aren't really willing to change yet. So if they're using any stay stuck strategy, they're more focused on how they want to perform and continuing to define what success looks like based on their own definition. So, so if they are getting loud and upset, that's giving you information. Still good information, better than staying silent and not having a conversation at all. But if they do sound upset, I do recommend that you stay under control yourself. Don't try to overpower them. Just louder than them is not going to work. Now you're in a position and they'll get louder than you. So you actually do that. You talk quieter. So like soft and slower to try to calm them down through kind of modeling it. And again, not getting into a competition of who's going to yell louder. You don't want that. The thing is you can start to make requests and set boundaries. I need you to watch your tone. Please don't use that language. Please watch your volume, those kinds of things. You can set boundaries. And then ultimately, if they're not able to calm down and quiet down and listen, it's not productive time. And so 100% you can say, you know what, it feels like we're not going to get through this conversation right now. Would taking 10 minutes to calm down help you? And then we could reconvene. And hopefully they'll say yes and go take the 10 minutes and come back. But being a leader, being a business owner doesn't require us to engage in conversations like that. And it's just not productive. So again, just start making requests about how, the things that you need to shift and how they're communicating with you. I need you to watch your language. I need you to slow down. I need you to lower your voice, watch your tone, watch the language, etc. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions today. Thanks for all the comments and the saying hi. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. And again, if you need any help, book a call with me, focusforwardcoaching.com/book call. Or if you want to check out those resources that I have available 24/7, digital resources available on demand 24/7, just go to myimpactacademy.com/join and check it out. I do these lives the first and third Wednesdays of every month at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you at another one soon. Take care and make it a great day.